We did that, and what we found is that it was quite significant, and that when you look at what actually comes from this food bowl, we realised that there was a really big story here, and that a lot more work needed to be done. And so that, in some ways, acted as a pilot project for what came next, which is the Foodprint Melbourne project that I work on now. And that project has run for the last about 2.5 years. It's funded by the Lord Mayor's Charitable Foundation. And the project partners do include the City of Cardinia and the peri-urban councils and the interfaith councils and a number of other councils, because they can really understand that this is an evidence base that's needed to help guide policy in this area and to help guide what we do with how we plan for food. So the aim of the Foodprint Melbourne project has been to generate that evidence base around Melbourne's food supply and the challenges that it faces in the context of a growing city and climate change. The three main parts have looked at Melbourne's food bowl, so what grows on the city fringe, what the capacity of that is to meet Melbourne's food needs, and how that changes as we reach 7 million people by 2050. And it's already, I guess, indicative that we started this research in 2015 when 7 million people at 2050 was the number. I think the latest that I've heard is 9. So it's it's a real challenge for Melbourne. We have the opposite problem from Detroit in terms of land. We then looked at Melbourne's food print, so what the environmental impact of feeding Melbourne is. And then looked at Melbourne's food future. So looking at how these kind of strands come together and what types of policy and strategic frameworks are needed to support a really vibrant regional food economy, healthy access to healthy food, and food security, not in a kind of closed-off fortress-like way, but understanding the role, the really important role of our city fringe farmland. We've released reports at each stage, and you can check some of those out, but I'll just go through some of the findings that we've come up with along the way, and then sort of look at how it relates to planning and planning for equity. So how do we plan, how do we use this information to plan for a more equitable food system in the future, and to ensure that we're not failing to plan, which is, I think, probably what's happening at the moment.